I played the promo. What's happening? What's happening? We are live and direct. Is a takeover, not a makeover. Yes, it is Riot Starter TV. I'm messing with y'all. It ain't Riot Starter TV. This is Warrior Class, and it's the 1-year anniversary of Warrior Class. Now, I was going to come out here with Ice Cold Carter, but he couldn't make it today. You know what I'm saying? We think about taking over. You know what I mean? But since I'm Dolo, we just going to negotiate. But anyway, I want to start off by saying salute to you all out there in Warrior Land. Definitely on behalf of Black Power Media, we are definitely grateful for you to be here, and even more grateful for you to be here on the 1-year anniversary of Warrior Class. You know what I mean? So I decided to come through, and I don't get invited too many places, you know how we do. So I just decided to come creep through here and say I was taking it over. But you see, I'm doing it in the safety of my own home. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna run up in the gym, have no problems, you know what I mean? But anyway, definitely I'm gonna bring on 3 of my favorite people on the planet. Some of my comrades, and when we say comrade, we don't take that word lightly. These are some folks who I love and trust, and I've watched them grow, and I hope they watch me grow. You know what I'm saying? We're excited about joining this particular program today. So I want to invite to the panel, to the stage, in their own house, the brothers and sisters of Warrior Class. What's happening? What's happening? Look at that. All y'all mics muted.
Peace.
What's good, man? How y'all feeling today?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful introduction.
Man, I had to check my PayPal and my Zelle to see if Balogun cleared it. It looked like it's good. So, you know what I'm saying? We can get down. You know how we do.
One suggestion, Kalonji.
Next
time when you take over, make sure you're on time when we start.
Ooh.
I'm blaming it on you.
Okay. You gonna blame it on me? That's okay. I'm not gonna tell y'all how things went behind the scenes. Balogun was on the wrong show somewhere, but it's all good.
So was I.
Yeah. We know you. I mean, we watch Warrior Class. Don't even go there. But yeah, man. I can't believe it's been a whole year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you have fun, time flies.
Man. Yeah. Nah, that's what's up, man. I think that to me, and I'm gonna say this, this is one of the most important shows that we have on the platform, period. Not only our platform, but this is one of the most important shows that we have as freedom fighters or quote unquote revolutionaries on the internet, period. You know what I mean? And I think that anyone who misses this show, they're doing themselves a disservice. As you can see, Ominiki's at the call center right now.
I wish.
At MCI, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that the last 2 people that have MCI as a service.
They happy.
They happy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But yeah, so definitely, man. I want to give the audience the opportunity to get to know you all, because I think that a lot of times we in run mode, we in go mode, and we kind of we don't really have an understanding of who we're dealing with. I had the opportunity to be on Kim Brown's show last night. Shout out to Burn It Down, Kim Brown. You know what I'm saying? It's a real good experience. I heard it was some trolls in the chat, but That's how shit go. That's part of what we do around here. But I'm definitely glad to be on here with y'all today. So what I would like to do is, for folks who are unaware, I want to ask how you all got started in not just warrior class, but the martial arts, urban survival, preparedness, and all of that. And I'm gonna start with the OG of the bunch. You know what I mean, my man Balogun, OJ Tade. What's happening, my brother?
Hey, peace, comrade. Well, I got started in martial arts. Really didn't have much choice. My father was teaching martial arts. He spent 11 years in Senegal and Mali. And so I started training in 1972, April 10th, 1972. And that date was driven into me. He was big on, you had to know dates, you had to know parts of the body, and how many bones, how many, you better not get that wrong, or it's going to be work on that mat. And for him, work on the mat is you actually be, tossed around. You got the freedom to try to toss him too, but you didn't want to. So that was 1972.
Wow.
From that, and my father being in the military, being SF, Special Forces, I always was interested in, I guess, trying to emulate him, the military aspect. And I wasn't until older until I realized that he had only spent 11 years on the continent. So the 11 years of learning, that's a lot of learning, but to the level that it was, as I got older, I realized it's because also he took what he learned from the military and put it in. And as I became part of the military myself, I realized, exactly what he had done with it. So he used modern military with ancient martial practices. Okay. So following in his footsteps, I joined the military too. And I was purely just interested in training. I wasn't interested in fighting for this government. I had long, from hearing his stories and my mother's stories. I mean, my mother was born in 1931. So the stuff they went through, I had long realized America was not our friend. So, but to get that kind of training, I wanted it. And I really wanted to be better than him. He would always tell me, you learn what I give you, and then you take that old natural genius you have of movement and how to express it and teach it, and you take that and go further with it. So I said, well, I'm going to do that with the military too. So I went the same route he went. And then as I got older, I really realized I didn't add nothing to it. He had pretty much done it all. I just can express it a little better. Like he would say, I would say, throw a hook punch, an uppercut to a hook punch. He would say, hit that motherfucker like this, hit that motherfucker like this. Talking, hook punches, and he wasn't, even though he was big on you got to know these bones, he wasn't talking about, destroying their femoral bone, their femur. He would just, hit that motherfucker in his thigh, right there, and it's like that. So I was thinking I'm gonna take it, somewhere else because I'm using bigger words and words he had forced me to research. And I didn't take it nowhere other than what he had already given me.
Yeah. For what it sounded like we had the same father, because that hit that motherfucker right here and hit that motherfucker right there. I thought those was technical terms myself.
I mean,
who knew?
He would call. I thought security guards for years. I thought a security guard's title was actually door shaker. Cause he was like, oh, dough shaker. I was like, dough shaker? Yeah, motherfucker, dough shaker, you know. And so I used to always be like, how you doing, Mr. Door Shaker? And motherfucker be looking at me like, you little bastard, you know. I thought that's what they would call me. That's all my father called security guard, door shakers. You know.
Word up. We got a lot of door shakers walking around here today. I'm gonna have to go ahead. I'm gonna take it from there myself and start calling them door shakers. So you know, we definitely we got some door shakers. Sometimes we got door shakers all around us, man. Right. But so you've been training for 50 years. I know Ominiki, you know, I've known you around town for quite a while. Ominiki used to bully people and take their lunch money when I first met her. I was like, okay, I see how y'all doing, taking people food and whatnot.
I need to start doing that again.
I see you over there chewing them dried figs or whatever you doing over there.
Grapes.
Oh, grapes. Okay, okay.
Somebody too.
Yeah, exactly. You probably did. What got you into martial arts? Was it before you was you played the gooch on different strokes, or was it afterwards?
I actually got into martial arts because of my son. He was born in 2008, and I wanted to get him into a discipline like martial arts. I really didn't know much about it. I had never done martial arts myself. So when he was close to 2, I started taking martial arts class myself. There was a free Wing Chun class that took place in the park that was taught by one of the Hebrew Israelites from one of the local restaurants that we have here. And I really got into it. You know, I really enjoyed it. And I started to understand the discipline aspect of it. So then, you know, I knew that I had made the right decision and wanting to get my son involved with it. Do I have an echo going on?
Yeah, you do, but I it's a light echo. But you know, we've heard worse. We survived. Okay. I think it's because you don't have headphones on, but don't. I mean, you know, if you have some, you can get them during, you know, in between.
So that's what got me involved in martial arts in general. And then when my son was a little older, I only took Wing Chun for about a year, but you know, I never forgot that was what I wanted to do. It's just I got involved in really work and just kind of let that take over for longer than it should have. And long story short, I ended up finding out about Baba from another sister who I trusted. And she told me about his class. She told me that even though she had her son taking a different class with a different martial artist, she said she would prefer to have him with Baba, but it was something about the schedule that didn't match up for her. So she had to take her son to someone else. And that was really all I needed to hear. So I brought my son to the class the very next day. It was a Monday, and just coincidentally, you happened to be there at the door. I don't know if you remember that, but we both waited outside for class to start. And I think a guidepost for me too. Like, you know, when I got there, Kalonji's here. So we went inside and I saw everything that was going on. I saw how things were taught there. And I knew that we had found our class. So
for folks who out there listening, that was a slug right there, because she said she knew I happened to be there. I started training years before, but she outranks me. So
see, I wasn't gonna
happened to be there.
I wasn't gonna go there.
That's okay. It's cool. I see how we doing this thing today. It's all right.
Before Bile, I'm on school. Everybody said I can bubble.
Hey, you're right. That's horrible. I'm looking like, damn. Like, wait, you a full instructor? Shit. I said I was gonna catch up, but
could.
Huh?
I said you definitely could. You have a natural thing.
Hey, listen, man. I'm grateful. To me, as my OG said to me, I'm grateful to call y'all comrades. And my particular position is because I have brought some of the brothers and sisters into the class or whatever that also outrank me. However, you know, the beauty of it is that part. That's part of the organizing. The fact that, you know what I mean, you can get in there and you can lead other people to where we need to go. So I feel safer because of the fact that I know that my comrades are good. And for those out there listening, that don't mean you can run up on me because I'm, you know, I don't get it twisted.
Definitely not.
You will get fucked up. But anyway, nah, so I definitely appreciate that. My main man who I'm saving for last, now this brother right here, Claude have mercy. Now, I think we all got Bile stories, including Balogun. I don't think he even wanted to respect your name when he first met you, according to some video footage I saw. But when I first met Bile had an organization called the BC, and Bile told me that BC stood for behind every corner you catch a motherfucker like me, and we'll set it off.
Oh.
So I said, you know, I tried to invite him to join FTP. Said, child's play.
Yeah,
Follow.
That.
I don't
what
know.
many people don't know is Kalonji actually took my whole mold that I had with the BEC and created FTP from that mold. But I don't like to talk about that in public. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's kind of why the BEC had to start operating in the shadows. We had too many people, you know what I'm saying, taking our blueprint. But anyway.
He's biting the style.
Really, my father's first student, not me.
Huh?
But he's humble about that. Don't let people know.
What happened?
I said you were my father's first student, but you don't know that.
I don't let people know a lot, you know. Baba really don't ever teach me nothing. You know what I'm saying? I teach myself and my life. All right, let's stop the bullshit. I get carried away, y'all know.
Anyway, man, something bad wrong with you too. But it's crazy seeing you calm because, like I said, we know when we talk about watching each other grow, you know what I'm saying? Just like going back, it's like, and coming back to class, it's like, man, this ain't even the same dude. Apparently, somewhere Baba now cracked his skull and he not got right. You know what I'm saying? But tell us about how did you get involved? You know, when did you get into martial arts? I know that Ominiki started off talking about that she took a YMCA class from some Jehovah's Witnesses in Piedmont Park. So what's your story?
I too was a Jehovah's Witness at the park. So yeah, no, with me, I actually was a Jehovah's Witness growing up. That's a different story.
I remember.
Martial arts always have been like a part of my growing up. As a kid in elementary school, me and my friend, I met my friend, well, he was my friend, but also my cousin Lynn. Actually, I think Baba and Ominiki both met Lynn before. But we used to go to the in the school. When I went to school, they had recess in the beginning before school started in elementary school. We would go to the baseball field, and at like, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 to like 12 years old, and just fake like we knew kung fu, me and him, and have somebody ref us, and we just be fake kung fu fighting from what we took from kung fu theater. And so it developed from a love from that until I got to high school. I started wrestling, and the wrestling coach would let the best wrestlers, he would give them the keys to the gym and let us work out, you know, during the weekend. And those wrestlers was martial artists, except for me. But I still come on the weekend and fight with them and you know, spar and get beat up and everything. And around 19, I think 18 years old, I started taking Jeet Kune Do. You know, everybody wanted to be Bruce Lee. I thought he was the baddest person in the world. So, of course, I took Jeet Kune Do for a couple years. I took a Taekwondo class in the summer. Then, you know, basically years went by and I started an internet TV show called Starve the System, where I started bringing on people from the community showing things. So I had Baba and them on the show. And at first I had no idea about him. A guy in Arizona named Bilal actually said, man, you got a master right there in Atlanta. You need to contact Africa. I didn't know who he was. And I was right here in Atlanta, so I felt stupid for that. You know what I'm saying? But I've had him on the show, and it was just, once I saw what they were doing, And if you ever taken any other martial arts, it's like once you see the truth, you can't go back to a lie.
It's true.
And so I'm looking at what he's doing. I'm like, man, it makes too much sense. The ideology, the terminology, like the mindset, which was the biggest thing. One of the biggest things, the mindset. It was African. It was for us. And even though it's African martial arts, you know, and Baba is African, we all Africans, we all are Negroes here in America too, and so-called Negroes. So, you know, the whole school encompasses all of that. It's speaking to our struggle, is our movements. It was totally for us, by us, and it was a no-brainer. You know, it just makes sense. And that's what it was. That was almost 7-8 years ago. Like, it's hard to believe.
Yo, you're not lying. Time has been flying. I mean, we used to have the political education classes at your restaurant. Bile had a vegan restaurant. We was trying to partner with him. He's like, no, it's all mine. It's all mine.
We ain't gonna talk about that either.
But
that
was how many years ago, man? I mean, that's been like what?
Right?
That was 2015.
That was 2015. Wow, that's bananas, man. It really seems like, you know, no more than 3 years at best. But of course, we know that it's been longer than that.
Somebody said once you pass 40 years old, everything seemed like it was a couple years ago, even though it was 10 years ago. Everything felt like it was a couple years ago.
Hey, man, you know, I'm 38, so I ain't quite.
I was gonna say I'll have to let y'all know.
That's what I was asking you. You have to tell me. I didn't. Anyway, Baba.
I just turned 17.
You the youngest old looking folk.
He got Benjamin Button's disease. But anyway,
I'm saying that, you know, everything's like a couple of years. My mother is 90. I wonder what time feel like to her. Everything
right
last night. You know what I mean?
Probably like the 60s was just 3-4 years ago, around the corner.
Right. I just had you 2 weeks ago. That's how 90 is.
My mama's still telling people, you know, he a good boy. Y'all know at my birthday, she said he's a good boy.
Yeah.
I got grandbabies. She called me a good.
Hey, listen, I wanted to laugh, but I ain't want no problems. You know what I'm saying? I said, oh, look at the good baby.
Time is really to her. I'm a baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
That's wild.
Man, absolutely. I want to ask Ominiki because I know that there are folks in the chat and just out here that see this. How practical is African martial arts for women? Because, you know, oftentimes, you know, when sisters are asking me about the program, I think it's a natural fear when I say that no, there's no women push-ups, and yes, the sisters train with the brothers and the babies train with the men and the whole nine. So how practical is it for you? Because I know, like I said, with that YMCA karate you did through Jehovah's Witness summer camp, I know that was a different type of feeling. You know what I mean? So please, you know, share.
It's funny that you say that, because at the Jehovah's Witness summer camp, like it all feels like you feel like a badass, you know. That's the best phrase that I use to describe it. Your reflexes get quicker and all that, so you really think that you're doing something. But you know, after taking my African martial arts, I realized that I could not defend myself, you know, with those moves that I was learning. You just feel like Bruce Lee or whatever, you know, you feel like you someone in one of those movies. But with African martial arts, I mean, from the first class that you take, you're going to walk away with something that you can take out to defend yourself for the rest of that week until you get back to class, especially if you train it, you know, and train it into your muscles and your reflexes. Like it is extremely practical. I would say for women in particular, because Baba teaches us techniques that teaches us to use technique instead of strength. That puts us at an advantage. You know, we try to train for a person that's trained, but at the same time, you know, we make sure that our technique is up to par so that we're not trying to muscle someone, because, you know, typically a woman, especially a woman my size, is not going to be able to overpower a full-grown man. But if my technique is good, then, you know, I can succeed if I end up facing one. And also if I'm smart, you know, with the tools that I use. It was something else I was going to say. But it's extremely practical. If I think of the other thing, I'll chime back in with it.
It's all good. I want to say that Ominiki is being very modest, because when we're partnered up with everybody in the class at some point, right? And when I have to train with her, she's very violent, very brutal. Matter of fact,
That's the exact word that I had in my head.
Bile.
That's the exact word I had in my head. Violent. He's very violent.
Man, I just saw the clip to that African, the Warrior King, or whatever the name of the joint that's coming on. And immediately I'm looking for her, because I'm like, this shit fake. If Ominiki ain't in it slaughtering someone. You know what I'm saying?
That's terrible.
Yeah, but I know what you mean when you said you felt like Bruce Lee and it wasn't working. You felt dead, right? Go ahead.
I remember the other thing too that I was going to say.
What's that?
With grappling in particular, which is like basically on the ground engaging with someone. Baba teaches us techniques that are specifically for women, that, you know, will help you if someone is trying to violate you sexually, you know, if someone's just on, because I think one of the nightmares is just having someone on top of you that you cannot move. And, you know, you learn techniques for being able to deal with that. So that really is practical for women. It's a difficult hurdle sometimes mentally for some women to be able to get into that type of training. But once you get it, you know, you really feel a lot more secure as far as, you know, if someone were to attack you.
A lot of the techniques were created by women, which makes it so easy for women to pick up and use and be successful with it.
Yeah,
no doubt. Yeah. No, and that's a beautiful part of it, because, you know, again, even with, you know, with all the sisters, you know, in the class, you know, I would feel confident moving around with them as well, because I know that, you know, the way Balogun and Akin Bobola and Bile and Amasun and the whole crew, you know, just what has been learned and what has been shared amongst each other is a powerful asset that we all can benefit from. So definitely, you know, salute for that. I want to ask, because I had this interview the other day with Mahmoud, and one of the things that we talked about was, you know, the physical, mental, and the spiritual. We all know folks that are tough. Physically, they can beat death in their mind. You know what I'm saying? You have some folks who are so spiritual, they walk on water and their feet never touch the earth. You know what I'm saying? They walk in the sky, they levitate. And then you have some folks who think they can think their way out of an ass whooping. And they're so smart that they actually think they're thinking, but you know what I'm saying? They're hiding behind institutions of quote unquote higher training. Right. I want to ask, because, you know, I know that you all are practitioners. I want to ask, starting with Balogun, how important is spirituality in warfare? You know, specifically the African martial arts, but in warfare as a whole. I want to get your take on it, because we have so many folks who say they're atheists and they don't believe in this and they don't believe in that. They don't believe in any type of spirituality, whatever. I want to know your thoughts on that, and how does that sound to you when you hear those words?
Whenever somebody says they're an atheist, I know they're just a disgruntled Christian. Yeah, because they don't know nothing about what we're doing. I had a guy, you know, I'm atheist. I said, okay, you know, he said, and you know, I really say damn the ancestors. I said, well, that's stupid as hell. because ancestors is your DNA. So damn your DNA. And he said, well, I'm talking about like when a person died, when the holy man died and the rapist died, where do they go? I said, in the ground. They go in the ground. Where their spirits go? Same place. They both go to the same place. I said, dude, you're a Christian. So you're talking from a Christian's paradigm. You're thinking heaven and hell. You're thinking evil and good, and Africans do not deal with that. That's not in our thinking about no heaven and hell. We don't believe in no heaven and hell. So whenever I hear that, I'm like, okay, that's a Christian. Now, as far as spirituality for war, you have to have it because, I mean, if you're fighting war against other human beings, if you're a human being, you have to have spirituality. Why? You have to have body, mind, and spirit because those are the three levels of mind. So in the African cultures, they believe in three heads. Okay, Ori, your physical head. That's the person that's grounded, physical, right? You have Ori Nu. I'm pointing at my navel, you just can't see it. That's your inner head. Okay, that's your mental. Your mind isn't just in here. Your mind is your whole body. You'll know that if you're about to touch a hot stove, goddamn, you're gonna jump because your mind is also in your hands. Okay, so it's Ori Nu, and Ipori. I'm pointing at my big toe. That's your spiritual, your higher self. Why is it in the big toe? Because the African believes that as you're walking, your ancestors are walking. Most African cultures, your ancestors are walking mirrored to you in the ground. We don't look for heaven in the sky. We look for heaven all around us. And heaven is your condition of life. Hell is too. If you are living in a condition where you can't feed your babies tonight, you're in hell. You're in hell. That's hell. If any of us dropped into some burning place, eternal burning, that's for us. I'm talking about for us. That's where you go. Hey, but that's the thinking of the African. So the African doesn't believe in something that he can't see, right? So all of this is important. That's why when people are these keyboard karate, you said thinking through self-defense and all that, and when I hear people pontificating, all you got to do is when then people just kick them, just don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Right.
Because it's not about what you think, what actually has been tested in combat and works. It's really that simple. What works? When you're raising a child to defecate, to learn your potty training, don't put that child ever on the potty and they'll be shitting all over your floor. And you shitting on the floor again? Yeah, fool, because you didn't actualize sitting on the toilet for them. So when you train with us, we have to actualize what this shit feel like. Not you imagine what a wrist lock feel like. We got to put it on you. And did it destroy you? No, so you can get out of it, right? We had a brother from the continent come. Oh, great wrestler, he's a champion. I put him in the choke because he's dealing with just the sport aspect, right? So I put him in the choke. Totally intimidated. Because he said they've taken the chokes out. His wife said, his wife was also from Senegal, this is what I want. When we move here, we're training with you. Because they've taken the choke out. Now he wants to fight MMA. In MMA, they realize he's intimidated by chokes. They're going to choke the living shit out of him.
Hey, Bob, I had I want to ask you this. I'm sorry, Kalon. I know you're asking the questions, but
it's all right. It's a takeover to takeover. Go ahead.
Yeah. Bo just made me think about something that I never really thought. So would you say, Baba, the spiritual one aspect of the spirituality in African martial arts, I just thought about it, it can also help you deal with, I think, let me make sure I'm saying this right. For me, I think this, I'll say for me, the spirituality that's instilled in African martial arts would allow me to defend myself fully without the thought of, am I doing the right thing? You know what I'm saying? Is this, you get what I'm saying, Bob? It's like, I don't worry about the law. I don't worry about the police. I worry about my family, the people I love, protecting them. And I know that that's right. I don't have to question nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of like a part of the spirituality that's instilled within. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense.
Of course it is. So spirituality deals with, part of that is morality.
Character, yeah.
You know what I mean? So the biggest thing, so Ade, when he was a young boy, you know, going to middle school, people were picking on him. And now Bobla was there, BD was there, Balogun D. This was before you all started training. He was talking about it in class that he doesn't know. He can technically beat these boys, but he doesn't know when he should do it. You know, when and that's the hardest part, is knowing when to. And I was crying in the class. I had to walk out the class. So I was crying, not because somebody put their hand on my son. I mean, shit, that's life. You just throw down. You know what I mean? It was because I realized I hadn't taught him that. When. And the when is political education. When you do it and why you do it. Okay. You know, so you have to be politically educated to know why and when you do what you do. And that's the angle I took with my son. And that, after that, is when he started whooping people's ass when they put his hands on the right people.
Politically educated and spiritually motivated.
Bingo. And that's what you need for spirit. And I'm not breaking on Christianity, but Christianity would never teach this. When we talk about Ogun, the spirit of Ogun, of course they ain't teaching no Ogun, but they don't put the spirit with the physical, but you can't get away from it, because if I don't have a spirit, I'm dead. And my spirit doesn't have a body, it's worthless, right? When we talk about Ogun, it's iron. This iron, if it's on the floor, the Odu, which is the body of knowledge, the corpus of knowledge in Ifa, says, what good is Okana no Sa, if you want to know which Odu, there's 256 of them. Okana no Sa says, what good is the cutlass except human beings pick it up? What good is the rake? What good is to name these different things except human beings pick it up? Okay. So if you don't pick this up, there's really no danger unless you step on it, and that's still you stepping on it. A human being has to bring purpose to spirit. Okay. So this knife, is it dangerous on the floor? No. No, it's not really. Am I dangerous though? Yes. With this knife, am I more dangerous? Yes, because that's the external Ogun, iron, with the Ogun in me, spirit. That's the reality of Ogun. That's the reality of any Orisha. So when men love say, I'm Ogun, I'm Ogun, I'm Ogun. What is Ogun? You're just talking outside your neck.
Right.
You know, and so people just talking out the side of their neck, even though they're talking about Ogun, they being Christian-like, because they're not actualizing. They're not even understanding what they're talking about. Put that shit into effect. I used to tell brothers who are Muslim, friends of mine, you want to talk Islam to me, Do it without the Quran. Do it without the Quran. Because the Quran tells you study the bee. Am I correct? You study the bee. Why? Because bee is nature. So explain to me what you believe through nature. And then you see that Islam, Christianity, if you're doing it that way, Ifa, all of it, you're dealing with nature. That's spirituality. You can keep that religion, because a warrior has to have spirituality. He has to deal with nature because he's in nature. And if he's out of nature, he's supernatural, and that shit don't exist.
Absolutely. Now, why do you and this is for everyone, what is this? There's always a desire to want to talk tough and not be tough. What I mean by that is, like, you know, you got cats on the internet that do serious type buys. They type some of those gangster shit.
Type buy.
You know what I'm saying? Just do a straight type buy on your ass and be proud of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They get up in the chat, motherfucker know everything. They ain't shit they don't know nothing about, right? But when it comes to that physical work, when it comes to that practice, that practicality is void. Or when you see them face to face, that energy is depleted. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same anymore. I mean, shit, you's a killer, you know what I mean, on Facebook. But on Smith Street, you're trying to drive by real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real out there. So why do you all feel there's such a desire for us to be fashionable militants? And
people like being they're grape soda. People are grape soda, man. Grape soda loudly proclaims is grape soda. And you know damn well when you taste that grape soda, you ain't never had no grape taste like that. And
grape soda ain't never had no grape.
Because that grapes don't taste like that. But it talks loudly and says, I'm grape soda. So everybody believe it's grape soda. It's great. It's great. It's great till you taste some real grape and you realize this shit ain't real.
Right.
And because real hasn't been put up against their ass, that they can talk. That's why the internet is great. A lot of stuff out here that's great, but it's dangerous because folks be talking like they just experts in everything.
Every goddamn thing.
Don't know a goddamn thing. I mean, some people they post this picture, and it was a picture supposed to be of Harriet Tubman at 15. Ain't no pictures of Harriet Tubman at 15. You know, when Harriet Tubman was 15, it wasn't no photography.
Shit, Kodak wasn't even born yet.
I'm like, what? Now, by the time she was grown, there was pictures. So people, because they didn't know, they would say, okay, this is so-and-so. Now, I have students that would, I say, hey, that's not, don't
I was
that.
just about to say that, but Bobby used to be in my ear like, yo, that ain't it, bro. That ain't the real Indians right there. That's they come from Germany, you're wrong.
For us, we got to deal with the real. You can't come in and tell me you can box, because the matter's the truth, man. You can't tell me you can box, goddamn it, and you don't even know how to hold your guard up. I know you're lying to me, right? So I tell my students, no. Do your research on this shit before you post that shit, and go deeper than the picture. Look at the time of the picture, tells you there was no photography. She could not have been 15 if you know when Harriet was born, right? So they're lying. That's not her. That was not her at all. I can tell you who it is, but I want y'all to do research on that picture and tell me who it is. And I told Bile who it was.
Mm-hmm.
Said, I told him. So grape soda, man, is grape soda. It's not grape juice. It's not grape shit. It don't taste like. And so these drive-by ass dudes, man, it's because they haven't been challenged. And that's why their energy is different when they do get challenged. Because now it's, oh shit, it's real in these streets. Always has been. You ain't been in these streets, so you just talking like you have,
Right.
Like that security dude from Detroit Dust. People laughing at him, but man, and I've laughed at him, but it's really not funny because he's teaching a bunch of folks and he has access to billions of people in the world with that shit. So even though we know it's bullshit, there's some people really believe it.
A whole lot of people gonna get fucked up just watching that video.
Exactly. You know,
right.
So shit.
Let me ask you this, because I know that you know, you mentioned sport, right? And a lot of martial arts is sport. You know, it's competition, it's competitive, and you know, you got the katas, the stance, and all that type shit, and it sounds good, but you know that when you weigh it against certain systems, then it's like that grape soda you talked about. It's paper tigers. I want to know African martial arts. It is combat. Why? Why is it not sport?
Y'all want to handle it?
Anybody can answer that too.
I'd love to answer, unless you want to, Ominiki. Baba shouldn't even have to answer.
You go ahead.
Okay. It's not a sport because it's not a game. It's not for play. The way you know it is because it deals with tools. That's how you know it's not a sport. It deals with tools. When you got something, it may look great, but when you say, "Hey, what would you do against this knife?" and it gets stuck, then you know that's a sport. If they're using gloves and taping their wrists and you know what I'm saying and all that, they got pads on. If there's any rules, it's a sport. It's not for survival. Now it may help you in survival. You know, you may be a little stronger. You may be able to run a little further. You may get a punch off or something, but it's not for combat. It's not for survival. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's not a sport.
And you know, when people, a clear indicator when they say we can't do so and so, nobody can. You're a goddamn lie. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu will say they'll say, well, you know, you can't fight multiple people while you're laying on the ground. And they'll say, yeah, we can't fight multiple people. Nobody can. You can't either. You're a damn lie. Because if I'm against two people trying to knuckle up with me and I pull this knife out, bet you I'll win that engagement. I bet you they don't even want to throw no punches. So the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu person is lying in that situation or is ignorant. They don't know how to do it because they don't use tools. And that's how you know that's not for combat, that you can defend yourself with that now. But that's not for combat. And in these streets, it's combat, man. There's people trying to bust your shit, stab you, shoot you. All those things. People say, well, what would you do against shooting people? Shooting. Somebody about to pull a gun on you, what would you do? Shoot them. That's all part of martial arts from the African paradigm. In the African way, we say you put the person where, you all?
On their back belly side.
Back belly aside by what?
Any means
necessary.
Any means. So by any means, if I shoot you with an arrow, I wrestled you. That's wrestling to us. Wrestling is to put a person on their back belly or side by any means. If I use explosive and blow your legs off, I guarantee you're going to fall. I wrestled you. So if you are trying to pull a gun on me, I'm going to draw faster and I'm going to tear your ass up. I'm not going to sit up here doing no kung fu against no gun. I can't do a flying kick against a rifle. I mean, come on. That don't make no sense.
You can do it one time.
They're gonna be like, damn, he got shot down like a bird, especially come trying to leap your ass over me if you want to.
I have one thing to add also, just for practicality's sake, from what Baba teaches us. Like, what we learn in African martial arts, you can actually fight side by side with someone else who actually is learning African martial arts. That's very practical for combat as well. You know, that's a real world thing. A lot of the things that people are learning in other martial arts, you can't, you know, you're all over the place with it. You're vertical, you're horizontal. You know, you can't. It's not practical for an actual combat application. African martial arts is.
And I can attest to that because there was a situation back in 2015 when a few of us was jumped by many, and just that, you know, from class, I knew that, you know, if I'm going forward, that I don't have to worry about anyone coming behind me. You understand what I'm saying? But since I didn't train with these particular individuals, people came behind me. You understand what I'm saying? So that was a shocker because for so long I'm thinking, okay, cool, I'm going this way, and to me, it's military. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, that boom, you moving this way, I'm moving that way. I don't have to look over here because of the fact I already know that you already have it. I may have my peripheral, of course, but at the same time, I know that you got me covered over here. So, you know, so I'm glad you brought that point up because that's very real. Because you can, you know, not training with individuals is also a detriment, right, even if, you know, no matter how they fight, because you all may have different plans inside of your head, you know. So I'm glad that
people define us, which means they define the African martial arts as different. They say that's not martial arts, that's combat. And I'm like, right, well, they right, but martial means war.
Right.
So war, when you say martial arts, you're talking about war arts. So if you're not dealing with war arts, then what you doing?
You know, real quick too, you know, some of those people that's out there thinking that they got it and that's got schools and professing that they this and they that, some of them know that they don't have it, but they've been doing it so long. Like Baba said, they've been doing it for 20 years. What they gonna do now? But also, like another saying that I always have, you don't know something that don't exist. You know, it's some folks out there, they really not trying to mislead you as much as they believe what they got is something. You know what I'm saying? Because like Baba said, they ain't ran into the real yet. If you ain't never been in a fight, all you got is concepts about what's going to work. You know what I'm saying? And so I hear people all the time. Everybody hear people all the time growing up, but I'll beat that nigga. That nigga would have kicked me. When have you ever done that before?
Yeah.
To let me know that you could do it now. Like, when are you all, you know what I'm saying? You ain't never done none of that stuff. I'll rip his eyes out. You ain't gonna rip nobody's eyes out. Man. Come on.
I posted one time a joke about, you know, well, it really wasn't a joke. People who 6% of Americans believe that they can beat a grizzly bear. 8% believe they can beat a gorilla, right? I'm telling you, 9% of people in the world couldn't beat a goose. And that's for real. But people, wow. I posted that, and this sister, she was pissed off. She said, my father taught me, you know, that he used to all the time knock out dogs with karate chops. And me and my wife sitting there cracking up like, oh my God. I said, I'm not going to insult this sister's father. Believing her father probably could beat dogs with karate chops. I let her keep believing. I said, oh, okay, great. Wow. I'm thinking to myself, man, this is terrible. So she's thinking, and she got children, so she's telling her children, granddaddy was beating dogs with karate chops, so you can too.
It's crazy.
She never saw him do it.
No,
he must have a meat cleaver in his hand when he was chopping. She must have. Y'all thought she was talking about with his hand. He had a damn meat cleaver.
A chopper.
That's a good. That's a brother. That just made me think. That's why it's so important for us to be present and for the real to be present, because it happens on both sides. People get delusional about what they can do, and then people are delusional about what they can do on the opposite side. Like, you can defend yourself against multiple attackers with tools. But people don't believe that because they ain't seen it. But at the same time, someone might be like, you can kick a knife out somebody's hand. They believe that because they ain't seen somebody get their ankle cut off.
And they seen somebody kick it in movies.
Right. So it's like not seeing the real hurts us both ways. We don't know what's real, what's possible, what we can achieve, and then we see something that we think we can achieve that ain't even possible. So it's just really messing us up.
Yeah, I knew this cat back home, man. You know, we used to run in the park and shadow box, He's one of the baddest shadow boxers I've ever seen in all of my life. The problem was, we downtown one night. It's me and him and I, we get into a fight with 3 other cats and whatnot. I already know we about to work these cats, boy. You know what I'm saying? My pal boxing and his boxing, you know what I'm saying? It's about to get on. First punch thrown. My man laid up against the car, sleep.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yo, dude hit him so hard and he fell so damn hard that the other 3 cats, my man thought he killed him, the dude that we supposed to be beefing with, and all 3 of us trying to wake dude up. All 4 of us. They with me like, oh man, we need got man. You know what I'm saying? We done forgot we beefing. I mean, one punch. So I'm just like, man, y'all got it. Like, they didn't even think about fighting after that. Yeah, I'm like,
that's from lack of training too, because when you train, you're getting hit, so you get used to that.
Yeah, but that shadow wasn't punching back.
Right.
And it was top of shit.
He was fucking that shadow up, but we was in front of Subway that day, and dude hit him he didn't even hit him with a 2-piece. It was just like one hard joint, and dude was just sleep. I'm sitting there, I'm like, this motherfucker right here. I forgot we was in a fight because like I said, we all was amazed. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even had to throw nothing. I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, man. Y'all be cool, man. Get your ass up, man.
Before it get physical, you be surprised who's who. Then when it start, what they turn into. I swear.
But that goes back to what we were talking about with the whole firearm training. You know what I'm saying? Right. One of the exercises we had in regards to the whole paintball situation, right? And that was a beautiful, one of the most beautiful exercises when you're talking about disarming folks with the paintball equipment, so on and so forth. Everybody's talking about they're going to the range, but like you said, the targets ain't shooting back. So when you're in an actual combat situation, it's like, oh shit, I might get shot. You know what I'm saying? So you're not even thinking. Some people, if you're not training, you're not thinking offense. Now you're on defense. They took you off the offense and they put you on the defense. So that's a very important piece as well. I wanted to ask. I have a few different questions, but I wanted to ask. Baba looked like he's frozen. You good over there, Baba?
I'm good.
Okay. Your screen was looking like okay, cool. Screen looked like he was gone for a second. I'm like, okay.
That's that old.
Oh, okay. You did one of old guys. Bob over there nodding on the cut. Yeah, but I wanted to ask at first. I want to address the whole. I want to talk about the concept of warrior class. Again, this is the 1 year anniversary. You know, what does warrior class mean to the 3 of you? And the way it's been over the past year, is this how it was envisioned, or has it been any tweaks or changes, or like what's your experience and what did that mean to you all? What is warrior class?
For me, heck no, it's not what we envisioned. We envisioned, smooth transitions.
Professional editing.
All of us are pretty inept at using this doggone technology, but we also didn't expect the show to be. Well, I didn't expect it to be as dope as it is.
Right.
I know them, right? So I know the show would have been workable. But I didn't know that it would be as dope as it is, where things come out like we ain't even intending it.
Right. I didn't think we laughed as much.
and it comes right around to what it may take a minute, but it comes around to what we were trying to talk about. Right. It always comes out that way, man. So for me, yeah, it wasn't exactly what I saw. But I don't know what I saw. You know what I mean? It didn't exist yet, so I'm glad where we at. It's what it needs to be, and it's just gonna get better. But really didn't have no idea. You know, I've never done. It took my student, Kunle. It took him 7 years to get me to even be filmed.
Word. Shout out to Kunle.
So, and I majored in film, but this is a whole new thing. This ain't like film.
Right.
Film is scripted. I mean, they both act in movies, right? Film is scripted. It's totally. This is live, man.
Right.
And that's why at first, when it was said, okay, well, we shoot it, and we pre-record and show. That was one thing.
Right. That's different than live.
Different from live.
Yeah.
Right. And if y'all know Baba live, man, it's scary when you live with Baba. You just don't know what's
happening.
I am a wild card, but hey,
Hey, listen, I saw some of the earlier shows, and I'm like, y'all like, that's when he's still looking into the camera all over. Every episode.
Even though Remix Morning Show, when we were on there, I didn't understand that about, you can't. I'm like, yeah, I thought I was supposed to get closer, I just didn't understand nothing.
That's what they calling you, Magoo Balogun.
Right. Although I like that because was fine as hell. That's accurate.
No,
he always pulled off stuff without even knowing he was pulling off.
Hey, that's true. Right. I'd like to say too, I didn't realize that I would learn so much, and I didn't realize how much the show would, come to mean to me. It was kind of informal, sort of thing that I was thinking was taking place at first. And it's just become, an institution now, as far as, my Saturdays and my week and, thinking about the topics and the things that we're going to be dealing with. But just learning so much about Baba, learning so much more about Baba, learning so much more about Bile and their opinions on things and their base of knowledge. And also the topics that Baba comes up with, like researching them, looking into them, learning so much about what it really is to be a warrior, the history that we have behind us, and the things, that we'll be able to do in the future. Like it's been a wonderful experience for me. I'm really grateful for it.
No doubt.
I will exactly what they said. I will also add. First, let me answer your question. My vision was probably like a multi-million-dollar show. What it would look like if we had millions of dollars. I guess that's what I was envisioning. You know what I'm saying?
What network were you on?
I don't know where I was at. But actually, I think the show is exactly what it needs to be. Of course, like they said, we had transition. We still got those ideas that still may come into fruition, but we don't have the expertise to pull them off ourselves. But yeah, we do envision a slick moving, fancy looking thing. You know what I'm saying? We got something more organic, but what it is it's something that becomes, bigger than you, bigger than us now. It's one of those things, like she said, we learn too. We may not have knowledge of a subject, but then when we start really going in depth, we learn more for ourselves. And then there's also a form of therapy. When you have information and you want to get it out, and you want to tell people, and you want people to be up on their training, on their information. It's a therapeutic thing as well. So it helps us to be I can't say it for them, but it helps me to be able to get certain information to the people and to be able to voice my thoughts and opinions publicly. So definitely a great thing. I can't imagine life without Warrior Class now. It's so funny. You know what I'm saying? It's like we need it for ourselves.
Well, hey,
why didn't you interview Ice Cold Carter? He can whip all y'all. can whoop everybody. So
Yeah.
you know,
The
At least
homie Ice Cold Carter, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna definitely have to get him on board as well.
Apologies, audience, because we're not in the chats right now. So peace to everybody. Sorry we're not in the chats.
I'm looking at the chats. I see I Manifesto talking about me looking sleepy.
said,
That's what I'm eating. When you see me eating,
was sleepy
I'm trying to wake up.
She done got it down to a science now.
She got it.
Don't go to sleep. Yeah.
I see who that is because I remember a couple times. I think she forgot she was on the air. She's just like, mama.
I was with elbow, with the elbow, and she was.
I mean, no disrespect to anyone. I promise.
Hey, one day she had a pillow. I'm like, God damn. They said, make yourself at home. She took that shit to the heart. I think one of the great things about Warrior Class that I admire is that when you're doing a show like Warrior Class, to work with people that you actually respect and that have a mutual respect for you makes the job easier because it's not a job at all. One of the things that I love about our organizing family is that, as I tell folks all the time, you know, we don't have to get into any physical altercations. We don't have to disagree with each other in ways that are antagonistic. You know what I'm saying? Everything is principle, and accountability is based on being principle, and whether you like it or not, you know, it is what it is, and it's not in a way. We're not saying it like, you know, oh, this is the word and that's what it's going to be. No one is above above being checked or set down or whatever the case is, and it's a mutual agreement. So I admire that part of it spilling over to Warrior Class because it brings the authenticity for the audience. You know, I know many of you out there, you don't know these people in real life, but I do. You know what I'm saying? And it's when we talk about comrade and family, so on and so forth, it goes beyond, I know their children, they know my children. You understand what I'm saying? It's not a situation where you just link up for this class and do your partner and we out. Like so many different, you know, organizations. You go to these meetings and whatnot, you don't know where people live, you don't know what they do, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what they do outside of, you know what I mean? And it becomes fake because then later on you find out that like, damn, I thought that motherfucker was Superman, but really, you know,
they're police.
Yeah, super cop. I wanted to ask y'all one of my favorite questions that I probably always ask is, how important is it to be a part of an organization or some type of structure? And that question goes for all of you, or to all of you, excuse me.
Before we answer that, I just want to say, I just want to give Baba his props, man, because he really does make it to where, to say it properly, the way we can communicate in a way that makes it equal. Because Baba always say, the way he moves is, yes, he is the master in Balogun African martial arts. But if we're talking about cooking, he surrenders that title and allows himself to be a student to one of his students.
Yeah, but
now he could easily carry on that same behavior, that bravado or whatever that comes from martial art, and we wouldn't question it because he a bad motherfucker. So if hey, I know about cooking, I'm like, all right, Baba, shit.
Listen, I ain't eating Balogun cooking. I don't give a damn what he know. Go ahead.
Right, but he don't move like that, which allows us to be equals on certain planes. You know what I'm saying, and understand, and as comrades, you know what I'm saying, because of how he carries himself. So I appreciate that from him. It's one of the things that makes communicating and moving around him so easy. So, all right, now we get to the question.
Actually, I have something to add. Excuse me, Baba. That reminded me of Kalonji's question about the type buys And, you know, the people who know everything about everything, that's what you get on the internet, is these people who, they may be an expert at something. There may be a subject, they may know all about history, or they may know all about something else, but all of a sudden they're making comments about things that have nothing to do with history. And they are saying it, they're using absolutes as though because they're intelligent and they have mastered one thing, that they know all about everything. And that's where humility is very important. And that's what Bobby exhibits, is humility in things that he has not gained mastery over. You know, so yeah, kudos to Baba for that.
Thank you all. You know, that number one, what you all are talking about, it's not just in martial arts, but martial arts instructors, a lot of them have what's called false omniscience. They are great at this martial art, but they think that means they know all this other shit. And they just great in their martial art. They may not know shit about boxing. You know what I mean? So, and this is also when we're talking about African martial arts. In the African martial arts, we say the master blacksmith in one town is the student blacksmith in another. I cannot walk into somebody's karate school, walking around beating my chest, because I've been doing this for 50 years. There's an instructor that came to one of my workshops, and one of the instructors, full instructor's wife was, you know, now you got to pay to get in, sir. I said, no, not him. Not him. I said, can you tell them how long you've been teaching, not training, teaching? So I just been teaching since 1955. I said, he doesn't pay to get in here. It's an honor to me that he's in my workshop. Come on in. You know what I mean? And that is Papa San Canty, who transitioned.
I know his son's out of Chicago. He's out of Chicago, or
no? I think he's from New York. His son, Amosun, is a priest that's down here too.
Right. I think he has another brother up in Chicago, and I know. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. So that's Papa San Canty, teaching since 55, man. Right. You know, and then, you know, of course, in Chicago, you got Jimmy Jones, who that's the first martial artist, black martial artist in Chicago. I think he may be the first non-Asian martial artist, I think, in Chicago. You know, learned in the 40s or whatever. I mean, you know, but people like that, he's not carrying himself like he know everything. Right. You know what I mean? You're the master blacksmith from one time. I can go, if I go into another person's martial arts school, I'll put on their belts if they use belts. I'll put on a white belt and learn whatever they have, because I don't do what it is they do.
No doubt.
A lot of times I don't get that same respect. Folks come into the school, you know, and usually I clown those folks. Right. And they'll tell you that. Or you know, I'll say, I go. Everybody, I may, which I go, pay attention. I'm paying attention, right? And then normally I'll have them salute an instructor who comes in. But if they come in disrespectful, I say, this is so-and-so. I wave at the cat. He ain't getting no salute. Right. He ain't, you know, from his disrespect, he hasn't earned that. So, you know, you show respect with that. So thank you all. That's just something that any warrior should do, is carry themselves that way. But as far as organizations,
right. Well, that's the question. I forgot.
If you're not part of an organization, you're a wild card for real. And I can't trust you, because my students know I can go off the rails. I feel a certain way. I can go off the rails in my opinion, right? They'll pull me back. Even if I'm just looking at a certain expression, I say, okay, I done went too far with that. Let me pull this shit back. It's a check and balance. I'm not like that big I little you y'all talking about. I can't be that. I'm part of an organization. How the hell somebody gonna snatch my ass off that pedestal? You know what I mean? So you become part of an organization if you really real about the work, you, working for your people, and you doing that by yourself. You just making up shit on your own, all kinds of crazy ideas and all that shit. When you hear, certain of the Prince of Pan-Africanism, that's when people start saying that kind of shit. They're working by themselves and there's no check and balance. If I start saying, I'm the righteous God of martial arts, my brother be like, what? Right? What? I get clowned. And so that's why organizations are important. What's one reason why organizations are important, man? And because we need a body of people with different stuff. Knowing martial arts not enough. Knowing how to shoot, that's one part. That's important. But damn, we need other stuff. I remember we had one USPI meeting. The sister said, "All I know how to do is do hair. I don't have anything to contribute." I said, "Damn, you just said." Yeah, because that's another thing. You'd rather me cook for you than do your hair. I do all y'all hair be jacked up. I tell you. So
I should be looking like Bile.
Exactly. and mine would be looking like yours, Kalonji. I got to take it off, put it on mine. So it wasn't, that's why that's important. We may say it's not important, and that's another thing. If you're talking about somebody, what they do isn't important, you're not looking at the big picture.
That's right.
Well,
especially when you're talking about building a nation.
Thrive. After we survive, we got to thrive.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, that knowledge has got to be carried on. And someone who is good with their hands, someone who can do hair is good with their hands. So there's other things that they may be able to do as well that they just haven't learned yet. Right. What I was going to say, I'm sorry, what did you say, Kalonji?
No, I said tie knots, tie a motherfucker up. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Yeah, that's valuable.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that being that we're all human beings, I think the important part of being a part of an organization is that one single person can be taken out so easily by so many different factors, even just internal factors. But an organization is going to carry forward as long as you're clear about whatever your purpose is. That organization is going to continue where that person might falter. So I think that's one of the most important parts about being a part of an organization.
And I was just add on to what they said is about just having what type of an impact do you want to have? We out here trying to make a difference and have a real impact. Well, I mean, like that's why they say strength in numbers. Like you're gonna have a bigger impact being a part of something bigger, unless you're too ego driven and into individualism and want the accolades for your personal whatever. If it's really about the work, then why wouldn't you want to make the biggest impact you can? The second thing would just be protection. You know what I'm saying? You have a better chance of surviving and thriving in a group. You know what I'm saying? You don't see police or Klan members running up to a group of Nation of Islam members and attacking them. But you don't see them running up on a group of Jehovah's Witnesses either.
That's right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just the organization period can have some safety within that.
Yeah,
Word. Balogun, you co-chair USPI, Urban Survival Preparedness Institute. How important is urban survival? And for folks who are unaware, break down what Urban Survival Preparedness Institute is. Because I know we've been talking about African martial arts, and we know that with warrior class, it goes beyond it goes beyond just the martial part of it. So please tell us a little something about that. And also we know you have 89 books right now, so tell folks how to get it. And I promise y'all the African Art of War will be out this year. I'm still working on my part. Well, go ahead.
All right. So the Urban Survival and Preparedness Institute, USPI, It's co-chaired by myself and my comrade Kalonji, and it is about being able to survive all disasters, man-made and natural. Okay? All disasters, man-made and natural. We don't deal with is COVID man-made? Was Katrina? Was that done by the government? We don't care. The whole thing is it's killing people.
Right.
Right. So we deal with how do you survive this? You know, whether it's man-made or natural, it doesn't matter. So we deal with that. We recognize that unlike woodland survival, they also say, shit hits the fan survival. We're not waiting for the shit to hit the fan. First of all, if shit hit my fan, something wrong, because I'm throwing it in the fan. That's gross. But also,
that's the first problem.
First problem.
Don't go to Balogun house.
Urban survival, right? Urban survival. We deal with that. That's always. We're always dealing with urban survival. You walk outside your door, you better be prepared to survive and to protect yourself and protect your loved ones, protect even though the people, your neighborhood, people you don't know. That's urban survival. We ain't waiting for no shit to hit the fan, and then all of a sudden now we ready to get up and go. And that's lying to yourself anyway. All the rest of the days you just move slow and you're unaware. And when shit is playing, now you automatically aware of everything and you move quick and you can run with a 35-pound pack on your back. That's a lie. You're not. Your ass gonna poop out after a block of running, if that, of running with a 35-pound bag. We test that kind of stuff. We'll run to get French fries a mile. And you got to be back in a certain time. And then if you're not thinking when you leave, what's the consequences that you weren't thinking? So you always got to be thinking, and not just when the shit hit the fan. You always got to be aware. You always have to be prepared. Yeah, well. Most of the time when I leave out this house, and it's so much so, I went to Bile's house one time, didn't have my get home bag. He said, "You don't have your bag with you, Baba?" It's that noticeable because I keep that bad boy with me. And I was glad. He said, "You don't have your bag with you." That means he's aware, and he's also aware that I keep my stuff with me. I stay protected. That's just my get home bag. I also have a go bag, which is a 10-day bag for me because I plan on replenishing other people's bags too. Right? That's the kind of way you have to think. I know people who do woodland survival. They ain't thinking about replenishing nobody else, helping nobody else. I was with this guy that was totally into woodland survival. Love him, but the way he was training, one of the people who's been training with me for years just shocked me. Listening to him, we're buying firearms. I said, let's get this firearm because then we can trade off ammunition if we have to. Yeah, nah, I'm getting this. Because this hard hitting, this is what the brothers in the street use. I said, ain't no brother in the street got this. I let you know it's AK-47. I said, your typical brother in the street ain't got no AK-47. And you ain't never shot it, so now I got to train you on the AK-47. Because you don't know how to shoot no AK-47, but you do know how to shoot the AR-15. So I was, saying, everybody, let's get the AR, and that's not even my favorite weapon. But get the AR-15, so now we can trade off ammunition if we have to. Or if you're going to get a certain tool, say you get a rifle that shoots 45. And I know, say if Bile had a 45 pistol, I can give him the rounds from my 45 rifle when he gets you. That's why USPI is important because that's how we're thinking, right? And then one time we had a conversation about what firearm, people were going to get, and people were talking about it. What's a good gun? I want to get this one sister. who's small. It wasn't Ominiki. I want to get a 45. Hit with. I said, well, you know, hey, if you want to get that, but that bad boy hit. You know, I was watching so-and-so on the internet. They say it's not no such thing as a woman gun. Damn right, there's no such thing as a woman gun, but it is guns that women should stop from.
Right.
Same way, I can't shoot certain guns. I can't shoot. I got big hands. If it's too small, I can't. I'm not comfortable shooting with that gun, with that pistol. So I don't say, well, I can shoot whatever I want to. No, some stuff is better that you stay away from, and some better you go to. I would recommend a very small sister shoot a 9mm. I don't want a 9 to kill you.
Serve its purpose.
You know, put a hole in something.
So I would recommend that. If you want a 45, I can tell you which ones to get. If you want, you know, one sister said, I want a 357 SIG. This sister shoots a lot, and she's tiny. She's the tiniest person in our group. And so I said, okay, yeah, she can do that.
She's used to the weapons. Right.
She's highly trained with firearms. She could do that. She wields a 12 gauge like it ain't nothing. I know some larger women who shoot the 12 gauge screaming each time they hit the shoulder. Well, not because they're a woman they shouldn't use it, because I know some dudes who do it too. They're trying to suck it up. They shouldn't use the 12 gauge. Use a 20. You know, so that kind of stuff we have to know and be real with people about those kinds of things, right? And then just like in the martial arts, we have to train what we have. We have to shoot at targets. And then shooting at targets ain't enough. We have to do stuff as far as drills. Shooting that target. I believe Ominiki was there.
I was.
And so one brother, he busting the targets, busting them. Oh, he busting them. I said, that is beautiful. Boom! Shot close to his ear. He missed every shot after that. Because that's what the shit really gonna be like. Now he can't, he missing everything. So that's how you have to train. That's USPI, you all. So it ain't just no, you know, we sitting around and we making pillows together and shit. You're gonna be with, because people, how do I get with USPI? I said, well, I'll hit you up, and I'll be like, that person ain't gonna never. I know this person ain't ready for what we doing, because we deadly serious. We're not trying to be fashionable.
That's right.
The only thing fashionable with us is Kalonji's boots. That we got
nice boots, boy. Had some nice boots in that cap out, boy. That cap, yeah, some nice boots.
Kalonji about the boots, boy.
Them boots was cute, boy. Them boots was cute.
Them boots was cute. They punched well, but they were cute as hell.
I just want to add to that what Baba just said for USPI. The other aspect of that, because he's training you, we're training on how to move, how to defend ourselves, how to move in a group, different things of that nature. But also the big aspect is why we're doing what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And the history of the movement, which is something that was very interesting to me, that, you know, I had some knowledge, but I didn't know, which is a big tool, you know, all the different rebellions and things of that nature, excuse me, that's, you know, propaganda used against us. So we won't know of all the blood that's been shed. That blood has even been shed. We think of looking all the way over across the seas and everything, not knowing that, you know, a lot of blood has been shed here, thinking everybody just went along, you know, with everything. So
that's one of the biggest differences, because you got gun clubs and stuff, but we have that political education aspect.
Yeah,
nobody's up when me and Kalonji were forming the thing, right? Okay, what are we gonna have? We're gonna deal with firearms. We're gonna deal with land navigation. We're gonna deal, but first and foremost is political education. So every class is political education. Then it's some type of survival technique.
Right. Something practical.
And that is important because you don't know why you're doing it. You're just out there doing it, or you just being individualistic.
Or like what you said before, it's like, you know, a lot of folks when they purchase firearms or they think about owning a firearm, their mindset isn't really the enemy. They're looking at secondary predators. They're looking at, I wish a nigga would. You understand what I'm saying? That's the first thought in their head. They have no thoughts about if they're under attack by known enemies. They have no thought on if the state apparatus decides to abuse them. You know what I'm saying? Those thoughts are foreign.
They may not even have the thought of what's the best type of tool to have for my house. Should I have a rifle, a gun, handgun? Like, what do I need?
Man, I went to this thing that was a warrior retreat.
Warriors don't retreat.
Nah. And if anybody in here is there, you know, I love y'all. But at one point we were talking and mugs were, man, we can't do nothing against the police. We can't defend ourselves against the police. This one brother was so hard on that. I said, excuse me, sir. Are you the police? And when I said that, if anybody knows Baba Taji Nanji, martial artist, he put up, you know, the high five, you know, we high five. He was like, yeah, man, these motherfuckers acting scared as shit. Yes. Look, these people here, just those are the folks that will be giving up your information to the police because they think the police are indestructible, they gods. They don't know about St. Petersburg, Florida, and other times they don't know about other times when people have stood their ground against oppression.
Yeah.
You know? So,
and if you know a lot of police officers, like, you ever met some of these police officers around here, you look at them,
right.
and it's bigger than them. So when we're talking about
that's an organization.
Primary, that's an organization. We're talking about primary and secondary predators. A lot of people don't even know what that is. You know what I mean? A primary predator is the state. And when we say the state, we don't just mean like the state of Georgia, the state of New York.
Right.
Okay. The state is also these corporations, is the oppressor. That's primary. Secondary predators are these mad white supremacists out here. They're dangerous. They can be. You know, it could be a brother on the street. But if that's the main thing, if you're training martial arts, shooting or whatever, and you're seeing a black person, that's problematic. And you black or you white on here, that's problematic. When I train people to shoot, I say, don't see a black person, don't see a white person. See a gray person. Because whoever it is, if you're threatening that which I care about, you're going to be stopped. I'm not concerned about you, but definitely the first thought in my mind is not no black person unless that black person worked for the state, and he still ain't the first person in my mind. You know, so the primary predator is the state. I don't know anybody that can't say they've had hasn't had a negative encounter with the state. I don't know anybody.
Some form of fashion, right?
Right, in some form of fashion. I don't know anybody.
And
but I know people that people call predators that you're talking about, secondary predators that show love, that have shown love to me and others. what people would call secondary predators used to make my ass. I come home without my backpack. They where your books at, Professor? They used to call me Professor. Where your books at, Professor? Let me see you tomorrow without your books. I'm gonna beat that ass.
It's still like that. In some small towns, it's still like that.
So you know, that's
they call you professor when you was small.
Yeah, when I was small, I walk around. It was funny. I was 10 walking around. It wasn't a backpack. I said the backpack, so you can call me out. I used to walk around the goddamn attache case.
Yeah.
My mother used to be like, "Boy, get a backpack." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, attache case, mama." So they used to be like, "That's it."
I had one for a couple weeks in high school. Run around with a briefcase,
right?
A briefcase and a 9mm with a Derringer in my pocket. So yeah,
that's one of the best places to have a 9mm action.
Yeah, I thought I was down with the Corleone family, the black race.
You know, on that,
it's funny.
They make an attaché case that carries the well, it can carry a large bore pistol, or it can carry the I forget what the firearm is, God dog it. But it's so it can carry small rifles, and it can probably carry not a shotgun in it. But where you have it and the handle some kind of way is connected to the trigger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And while you're walking with it, you can fire out the case.
Yeah. I seen those type joints.
You know,
that
so
canes the whole nine.
I was gonna say,
somebody want to give me one of those cases, please do, but also include the firearm in it with it. That's
what's up. I was gonna say what Kalonji was talking about, the Black Corleones. Another important thing with urban survival preparedness is that a lot of times with our people, because we're not familiar with survival, we put a black face on the survival that we do know or that we are familiar with, and that is normally the whites, stockpiling a bunch of stuff and whatever it is that we have taken from them. We think that is a survival for us. As Baba tells us, most of the time we're going to be in an urban environment when if something does happen. We're not going to be out in the middle of the woods somewhere. That could come into play at some point too. But for most of us, we need to learn how to survive basically where we are or in an environment like the one that we're in right now.
And if you can get to the forest, that's good. That's good. But if you don't do it early enough, as a bunch of people are on the road with vehicles and vehicles breaking down and all that, and hell is on the road, people looking to waylay you on the road and everything. Getting to the forest is not going to be that easy. Now it's easy for us in Georgia, but like Chicago,
New York,
to the forest, New York, it's not going to be easy for them to get on the road and get there. You say, well, we'll get there on bicycles. It's other people on the road, not just broke down cars that are waiting for victims.
Looking for people.
Right. So you better be prepared to survive where you're at, like Ominiki said. That's urban survival. We don't. Urban survival is where I was trained, but we had to make a change because most of us don't live in the woodlands.
No doubt. Speaking of on the road, I think it's about time for us to do some USPI on the road training. What y'all think about that?
That would be great.
I think it's time to take it on the road a little bit. I want to plug FTP. We have some new parts of the program, not just USPI. Our brother Doc from Still Standing, they will be joining FTP. Still Standing will be a part of the whole FTP movement as well. So we will be able to add another element dealing with everything from not just will become with the survival preparedness and the martial arts, but also with he comes with combat medic training. You know what I mean? So different forms of training on how to deal with trauma and stab wounds and gunshots and so on and so forth. So definitely shout out to our brother Doc Peggins. Also, I want to salute our brother Wise, because I saw a couple people in the chat talking about 52 blocks. We also now have our brother Wise Morrow is a part of FTP as well. He's over the 52 blocks ATL. So we have a couple different systems to choose from around here. So it's no longer, we recognize that we are in a time where we have to move beyond empty rhetoric and fashionable militancy. It sounds good in theory, but in the real world, what you gonna do when shit get thick? I want to, because I know we're close to time, I want to ask, what are some of the things you all have survived 1 year warrior class? So definitely, that's a beautiful thing. What are some of the things that you all are looking to bring us through the next coming year and coming years? Because as you all mentioned, it is now an institution, and we will continue to build and grow this thing out, because like I said earlier, this is certainly one of the most important pieces we have on Black Power Media, and no one can convince me any different, especially when we're talking about the key words Black Power. You know what I'm saying? Now the media, that's cool, we can have a lot of that, but we will not achieve or attain Black Power without some type of warrior class. So what are some of the things that we can look forward to in the coming year?
Well, probably we were going to do it before, but then I ended up getting sick, so we weren't able to do it's hitting the streets. And we're going to be doing a lot of things out in the street. One thing is we're going to be going to people and saying, are you confident about defending yourself? Could you protect your family? Could you protect yourself out here? And whatever the answer may be, then we're going to analyze that. We're going to, see how real that is. And I won't say how, but we're going to see just how real people are about that.
Right.
And so then that will become the topic. Whatever comes out of that becomes the topic of that episode. So we're going to be going out doing that. We're going to be showing how to avoid being abducted, put into vehicles, and then how to escape from those vehicles. I did one episode with my wife and my daughter on how to check vehicles, but we were using the chairs and everything because it was raining. We were going to go outside, but it was pouring down. But we're going to be going out, showing, shooting with the vehicles and things of that nature to make it real for you all.
We'll definitely be improving our sound quality, our camera quality, our production quality on the whole.
Some editing.
We will definitely be polishing our look a little bit, and we're gonna taking some of the we've been coming up with ideas before we even started the show. So some things take more space than others to do. So we'll be coming up with different shows. It's everything. We haven't forgot about the show with the cane, how to use the cane. Maybe couples, it may be with the woman and child, defense, different things of that nature. We'll be bringing a lot of more practicality with it.
And the guests, I'm bringing guests.
Yes.
Different martial artists.
Starting as soon as next week.
And
I said we're bringing guests starting as soon as next week.
Well, as soon as today, we're really.
Right, nobody takes anything from Baba.
And he took over the show.
Like I'm spam. It is next week. I don't know who this is right now.
So we're gonna have different guests on. A couple of so-called celebrity guests. We ain't got it like Kalonji. He can get anybody. Kalonji had all kind. Joe Biden be on that mug sleep. Kalonji
Now you know
Jama-
why though, Balogun. You know what it is? When I call him, I just like, look, let me know which one of these days you can get on the show. I'm gonna have Balogun stop by and just in case you forgot. Yeah, I don't know if you saw these warrior class guys. They're gonna be in the neighborhood tomorrow, so let me know if you're thinking about coming on or not. And it usually works.
All right, cool.
I was also going to say that trustfully soon we can, in addition to getting out in our community, we can get on the road so we can meet some of all these people that we have in the chat, yes. And they can come and see us and really learn techniques live in their own city.
I will teach you too. They can show you some of the things that don't work.
Well,
Go ahead.
The plan was, we're going to start also doing a series of books based on certain episodes.
There you go.
But the plan was to travel already, but COVID shut down a lot of stuff because we were like, okay, we're going to start traveling, and people would say, yeah, that's going to be great. Once COVID slowed down, so they let us know, shit, we ain't coming to your shit. COVID is slowed down, right. So it makes sense to travel now. We'd be speaking to an echo chamber. So once stuff hopefully gets sane again, then we'll be traveling all over this country. We will be in Alabama July 29th. And July 26th is the really that's going to be the relaunch of USPI and the FTP movement.
No doubt.
So that's 26th, correct? Yeah.
Actually the 20th, but I
20th?
think.
Oh, sorry. Whoa, 20th, y'all.
Hey, I was just going along with it because you see that's one of them things. I ain't scared of Balogun. You know what I'm saying? I shut up when he around. But when he leave, I be talking again. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, the man said 26.
Yeah, we got to change the date now.
Yeah, he's like, right, Kalonji? Yeah.
20th, yeah. So
I was gonna be texting you like, what the fuck is on the 26th?
So cool.
Delayed birthday. I don't know.
Right.
But
because I was like, I got it wrong then because I remember it was like set where pretty much everybody could make it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, but we definitely definitely looking forward to really just getting out with our supporters, and I'm saying our supporters because we are family, and I think that for folks who are checking it out, if it's your first time tuning in to Warrior Class, make sure that you check Warrior Class out every Saturday at 1 p.m. It's usually from 1 p.m. to about 2:30 or 3 o'clock. I took over the day, so we in FDO time. But definitely, it's a lot to learn. If you are in the Atlanta area, we know that Monday nights there's class right here at Train or Die in College Park over on I was about to say on Ralph on Old National, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Too west side.
He said what now?
You too west side Atlanta.
Oh yeah, I know, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, wait a minute. When did Ralph get to College Park? But Ralph goes to College Park. But yeah, so definitely, come out and learn some things in person. Definitely grateful to have Warrior Class on Black Power Media. That you all have added a whole nother direction and aspect to what it is we're doing. I know a whole lot of people that talk about the different things they've learned. Balogun got so many people about to get fucked up just taking taking the YouTube course for a couple hours and thinking they like us back in the day watching Channel 5 and shit. Back in the projects, we watched, Channel 5. You talked about Kung Fu Theater. They have this little double set on it. We'll take our mop sticks and broomsticks and break the motherfuckers and take bicycle chains and put them in the middle, and we have our nunchucks out there, fucking each other up, thinking we knew something, doing them flying kicks, and somebody catch that leg and slam your ass on your head. Now you got a concussion. You won't be back outside till next week's Kung Fu Theater. But yeah, now definitely grateful for what you all have added on. Is any last words you all would like to bring to the table or suggestions?
Check out Riot Starter TV. I comrade them. Well, Kalonji Remix Morning Show, Riot Starter TV. He'll jump on at noon with a guest that he done pulled out of the ether somewhere.
Right.
So, just keep your eyes on Black Power Media because there's great stuff happening.
No doubt. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, man.
And I think most people know Riot Star TV. You know what I mean?
I hope so, but yeah.
I watch. For me, I watch so many shows on here. It's like growing up, my mother always watched the news. I forget the news. That's because the network news is so full of bullshit. But here, it's not. It's full of real shit. And so that's why I watch everything, pretty much everything on here. When I'm writing, I have it playing. As I'm writing, I'm listening to the shows. Black Power Media is really the best platform I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Word. That's dope. I could co-sign that, man. Just all the wonderful content, that we've all added. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a blessing to be a part of it.
I like to thank myself, you know what I'm saying, for all the hard work I've given and dedication. But want to thank you, Kalonji, for the bringing this opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to us, and giving us, the assist, the alley, you know what I'm saying. You gave it to us, and we had to run with it from there. So we appreciate you, man, and your help, during the process of understanding this type of platform and how to navigate, and we constantly, I know you don't be knowing what's going on. We call you 9 o'clock or 12:57, 3 minutes before the show with 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate you, man. So appreciate it.
Nah, man.
Yeah, I was gonna thank Kalonji also.
What?
Yeah, I was. One thing that I learned from this that I didn't bring up earlier from this process of warrior class is how nervous you can get before a show starts. And when Baba told us that you were going to be interviewing us, at first we were going to interview each other, and then he said Kalonji's going to come on and interview. I was like, oh, I was really I wasn't sure how it was going to go.
He's like, I hope you don't ask me about my weed. No, I'm just
It's been really great, and I appreciate you. I appreciate your questions. Thank you very much for bringing so much out.
No doubt. I really, like I said, man, the honor is mine. Absolutely grateful to have the opportunity to rock with y'all today. When Balogun hit me up and asked me, I'm like, okay, yeah. Then I'm like, what the fuck I'm gonna do? Nah, man, I'm hoping that from this, our audience has gotten to know you all a little bit better, because the three of you are definitely phenomenal individuals with your own gifts and assets that you bring to the table. Along with, I want to give a shout out to the other comrades over at EO as well, because they are, truly, a blessing. And so many, the wonderful thing about our crew is there's so many seriously humble individuals that folks don't even know what they do. Folks like Amosun, C Flux sing Flux, just from the visual arts to the hip hop, and you know what I'm saying, and just I remember talking to him about when he was talking about coming to a African martial arts class. He's like, yeah, man, I'm thinking about it, but man, you know, and I think it was during Black August that he actually set in one of the classes, and that's kind of, you know, it knocked the nerve off. Now he's a no good, dangerous, you know, son of a so and so. But and I tell Balogun all the time, you should have never taught these niggas martial arts. Before I was talking shit to everybody, sit your ass. Who you talking to you, nigga? Now it's like, yo, you're gonna be training with me today. Shit.
When we went to the Black Power Awards, man.
Oh yeah.
I realized I really wanted to just say, shit, my crew better than your crew. It's like,
right.
First of all, our crew won every award, and it was well deserved.
Every damn thing. At least 7 of us. Right.
Like, damn. And so when you said, okay, you know, on a warrior class, everybody brings their own gifts to the table, for sure. You know, we all got different things that we're great at, and we're bringing it. And even when people talk about Ice Cold Carter, you know, when they talk about Ice Cold Carter, they're not thinking about the person who wrote it, which was me. They're thinking about him.
Yeah.
Because he brought that shit to life.
No doubt.
That's a skill. I told him a couple of years ago, man, you need to act. Pursue acting, right? And
I thought he was acting when I first met him. I'm like, this nigga can't be serious. But go ahead.
Yeah, so, you know, everybody got talents, and some of us got talents. We don't even know that they're there yet.
No doubt.
Right. I had no idea about
the reason why they have organization.
Right on. Hey, man. Well, I definitely appreciated joining you all today on this warrior class. But it's what they say, I don't want to get fired on my day off. You know what I'm saying? But you know, anytime y'all need me, I'm here. Definitely appreciate it. I'll be in class this week. I don't want to hear shit. Don't start nothing. Won't be Bile, Ominiki, Balogun.
When you coming Monday, if you coming Monday, I'm coming Monday.
Wow.
I'll be there in the flesh.
She's normally on she got bougie on us now. She's normally on
Zoom.
On Zoom.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to say I'll be there, but shit, I'm scared now. It sounds like a veiled threat to me. Oh, if you coming Monday, I'm coming Monday.
That was like the last week. The so-called lady last week. Lady was talking about, she was laughing, talking about black people calling themselves gods.
Does Ominiki say it?
No. You know Ominiki didn't say that. Some white lady on here, right? I said, lady, you know, fuck you. And I said, and if you're not a lady, our class, we are train or die Monday, 7 to 9. Please drop by and take a class.
Stop through.
Hey, and I said, if you're a woman, you know, you good.
This is the unpredictability I mentioned earlier when you're doing a lot of
ain't no
telling. I wouldn't want it any other way either. I wouldn't want it any other way.
No doubt. Well, hey, man, definitely love and appreciation. See you all this week. And, you know, let's keep winning.
All
right. Like Mama say, peace, y'all. Stay black or whatever you are.
Right. Definitely. Peace. Love y'all.
Doubt. Warrior class, throw them W's up like we what's them folks' name?
Like West Side.
West Side.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to do the right.
This ain't no Star Trek. What you doing?
I seriously cannot do it. Okay.
Nanu. Hey. Well, yeah, I'm gonna do y'all the honors and say peace. We out.
Peace.
Look, we never had a outro and an intro, man. We need you, Kalonji. It's beautiful.
You see this professional?
Oh no, man.
Hey, and everybody can hear us live, and this is inside of your video clips in your platform. Warrior class, y'all crazy. We out.
Y'all.
Love y'all. Peace.
Love y'all too.